Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know.
Hola, bon dia, alegria. Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show, the live stream, the podcast, and the Portugal Club, where we will go this morning. Question 50, would you believe it? Oh, a membership pest requesting. No, a membership request pending over at the Portugal Club this morning. How are you? It's a new day. I'm clapping because I'm just trying to get rid of a fruit fly. And not because I'm trying to create Good Morning Portugal, the musical, live on air this morning. No, it's a new day, it's a new dawn, it's a new life. Are you feeling good this morning? Do let me know in the chat if you will. I've got to say it's a little bit damp and miserly and not conducive to leaping out of bed this morning here on the Silver Coast. But eventually I did. And yes, sorry for the slightly tardy start and posting of the show this morning. But we're here now, and so are you. So thank you so much for being here. And maybe we'll start this morning with that question 50 of the Portuguese citizenship test. If I could only find it. Yes, I can find that. And I will be posting that on the screen for you in just a moment. How are you doing? Do let me know if you've got any lovely documentary evidence of the fun you've had here in Portugal over the weekend. Do let me know and maybe send something to me on 913-590-303. That'd be pretty awesome if you could do that for me. I would greatly appreciate that. And I've got a couple of things to show you. We've got Bob and Viv joining us at around 8:20 this morning. So looking forward to chatting with them and seeing how they're doing in their journey. I get the feeling that we might be talking about the foster dog. Oh, what was his name? Can anyone remember the dog that they caught sight of in the woods and made friends with and have fostered him ready for adoption? Let's find out if he's found himself a new home with somebody else, or if they've just fallen in love with the guy and they're going to end up with two dogs. My money, as is so often the case with these things, is it's the latter. That dog, I forget his name now, and as soon as I hear it, I'll go, yes, of course, as with so many things that I forget and then eventually remember these days. Yeah, I think he's going to end up with them, but we shall see. The Portuguese citizenship test question this morning is: which Portuguese king was known as the Poet King? Maybe you don't know this one this morning. Some of them are very easy, aren't they? Some of them a little more challenging, and this is one of those more challenging, I believe. So, yeah, which Portuguese king was known as the Poet King? Was it A, Dennis? And is that the chap who we saw whose head has been reconstructed, or a reconstruction thereof, not his actual head, I don't suppose. But is that the fellow who is in or near the Coimbra Library? Was that Dennis, possibly? Or was it Manuel the First? Or was it João Segunda, João number 2? Who doesn't like a João number 2 first thing in the morning? Right. So I am posting that up into the Portugal Club now. Who's in this morning saying hi? Thank you for the prompt to actually list the show T-Duck this morning. Bon dia, Carl and Gumpers from Jackie at 8:03 this morning. Matty, good morning to you. Bon dia, alegria a todos e feliz segunda-feira. Jackie, smash the like button already, feeling energetic this morning. Steady on. Yes, found the missing link. This morning. Bon dia, alegria, Gumpers from T-Duck. Bon dia, Gumpers from Matty. I didn't take any pictures, but we went to the Feira de Bagageira, Benfica, one of the best true flea markets in Lisbon. Always a fun time. Have a little bit of a forage and a rummage, right? It's like a museum view into the Portuguese life. Must go to that one of these days, maybe with you, T-Duck. That sounds great. A proper, I think your distinction quite important there. A true flea market. Sometimes it's just people's old tat, isn't it? Like a car boot sale. Do you have those in the United States, car boot fairs, where people are just clearing out their old rubbish? And typically in Portugal, you'll see a VHS VCR. That somebody still wants 150 euros for. People really trying it on, I think. I mean, it's still interesting to see all those old things that you grew up with. But a true flea market, you want a few collectors there and proper dealers, don't you? As well as the amateurs, of course. This Saturday is the market in Telhas. T-Duck knows his markets. We'll be there if it isn't raining. Yeah. I'm sure that affects an outdoor flea market quite significantly. So good for you. I'm glad to hear it. And I've got let me just bring that Portuguese citizenship test question onto the screen, and a few other oddities from over the weekend. I was in the estate agency shop on Saturday. Lovely to meet up with Gary and Heather for lunch as well. A 90-minute lunch break. One of the from a consumer point of view, I thought, well, that's a bit excessive. But actually, when you're doing a shop shift, not a shape shift, that's quite different. When you're doing a shop shift, a 90-minute lunch is it's so brilliantly civilized, and I was glad to take advantage of that. And with so much chatting and fun and good conversation, I think 14:35 came around. So even 90 minutes isn't enough to have a great lunch here in Portugal. But still pretty good, isn't it? Better than sitting at a desk with a pre-made sandwich and a carton of drink and a packet of crisp, which is lunch al desco in the United Kingdom. So there it is. One more time for you then on the screen. Portuguese citizenship test question number 50. We're halfway through, folks. There's 100 of these questions. Which Portuguese king was known as the Poet King? Was it Dinis? I think it was Dinis. Was it B, Manuel the First, or was it João the Second? And I think quizzes have changed, have they not? Do you remember the days when maybe when we read not cartoons, well, cartoon-based comics, when we had comics as kids? You might have to wait until next week to get the answers to quiz questions, or then it sped up. Everything's speeding up all the time, isn't it? Is it not? And then you would maybe get the answers at the back, upside down, to make it a little bit more difficult. And now, what's the point of a quiz? Everyone can just find everything immediately with the internet search, of course. And now with AI, probably you're given the answer before you've even asked the question. That's how fast things are. And I think for me, what I realized about that is that it's just a start, isn't it? A quiz question is just a portal into finding more about that whole subject, because we live in such an information, not necessarily intelligence rich, uh, but definitely information, and not necessarily knowledge or wisdom, but certainly the ones and zeros, the data. We are swimming in that stuff, aren't we? So you might wonder, why on earth is Carl doing a Portuguese citizenship test when we can just look all of these things up and know the answers in an instant? I would encourage you, it's to use it as a jumping off point into the broader picture. So if it is Dinis, who was he married to, and what was his claim to fame apart from being the Poet King, for example? So there you go. Knowledge in the age of the artificial intelligence and the internet. We've got a membership request pending here at the Portugal Club. Should we let them in? I think this person might be a spammer. Sometimes this happens, of course, in any conversation or any community that you have. Wandsworth, if I let this person in, you can meet them yourself. Oh, and I made a video. About the all the features of the Portugal Club, which I might spin for you before the show's out today as well. But this person who lives in Wandsworth in the UK, I can see no obvious. I'm going to have to change the entry question, aren't I, into what do you love about Portugal? And talking about the love of Portugal, yes, I had time. I sometimes sit down at my computer and I get a little bit of an inspiration to make a meme. And I was thinking, the joys of Portugal. That reminds me, do you remember the book, The Joy of Sex? Don't like to talk about it, we're British. But do you remember that book that caused so much interest for people? It was a more innocent age. Well, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was just the same old human behavior. But it wasn't talked about so much, was it? And there was a book, The Joy of Sex. And I thought, I know, I will find that cover and I'll make my own version of it and ask the question, what's your straight up number one big pleasure in Portugal? And there's my effort to remix the Joy of Sex cover into the Joy of Portugal. And the funny thing about it is that chap who became quite famous through his illustration, was this big in the States? Was it as big as it was, so to speak, as we had it in the UK? This is quite the book to be on a coffee table in the 1970s. But I think they actually look quite Portuguese, don't you? Maybe the model it was based on. Is it Dr. Alex Comfort who came out with this book that was all the rage? Lady Chatterley's Lover. Before it, The Joy of Sex. Those other books that were coming out in the 70s, The Male Chauvinist Pig Guide to Life, all those sort of books where people were talking about things that they'd never really talked about openly or in the media before that. But that's the journey of travel, isn't it? With these things. So, what's your straight up number one favorite thing about Portuguese culture? Debbie was there with the warmth of the people. And when they ask you if you're okay, they really want to know. Same here this morning. So that's the first answer to that question. Yes, Portuguese people, when they're asking if you're okay, they really want to know. Me too. So how are you doing? Tudo bem? Como estás? To let me know in the chat this morning. And we've got Bob and Viv joining us soon. A few more of your comments then. Let's go back to those. Do I remove inactive users? Somebody else asking me from a different community. I always mean to, but then I feel a bit mean doing it. So I don't as often as I might. If you really want to know. Judy asking me the question over there. Pete's here now. Watch out. Pete's joining us. 20% chestnut this morning. What does that mean? Bon dia. It's been raining for weeks, like living in the rainforest. Isn't that just called Wales, Pedder? Good morning to you. Bon dia, T-Duck. Quinta, EA, OB, AP, and so that's very sweet of you to wish everyone a personal good morning there, Jackie. And Jackie also wants to know how you're doing. I call it a true flea market because it's the one on Liberdade. Although fun and interesting. Oh, I call it a true flea market because the one on Liberdade, although fun and interesting, has a lot of tourist trinkets and high prices on everything. Yeah, I get what you mean. They will have posters up next year saying not to serve you more than 3 portions of chestnuts. And crime of crimes, you missed out on the Jerapiga. Are you talking to? Oh yeah, I think you might be talking to Matty there. And it is the San Martino time of year, isn't it? When we have the chestnuts and the Jerapiga, the wine made from the wine skins, I believe. That's right, isn't it, Pete? And very, very good, customarily, characteristically, very good value as well. Me and my mate looking to buy a small bus for the journey to Portugal. And mobile working. Mm. Now, you asked the question, Jackie. We are all about the fun facts and hacks here. This is hack territory. Is it cheaper to buy it over there? No. And then we don't have to re-register? Yes. If you drive a British vehicle over here, and it's a camper van and it's been modified for sleeping and working in, you can get into the most unholy of protracted regulations and confirmations. You need a cock certificate. Certificate of what did you think it meant? It's a certificate of conformity, of course. You'll need all sorts of processes and quite difficult re-regulation or regularization of your vehicle over here. It's probably best not to have a British camper van, although it's likely it will be cheaper to buy one of those and bring it here. And then you'll need to park it up on your land ultimately and not use it if you don't re-register and make all the necessary modifications to make it roadworthy in Portugal. It's a very difficult process you're speaking of there. So it is best to buy Portuguese. Although if you just do want to use it as your escape pod and just use it for, I think 90 days, is it 90 days or 6 months, Pete? You'll probably know about this, but you've got a certain time limit into which you must make it a Portuguese registered vehicle, obviously, if you're intending to stay here. The other thing to do is to come here in a British one and drive it around until you found your place and then sell it to somebody who will take it back to the UK. That's what I would say. That's what the sort of thing I've heard of. So, Jackie, I hope that helps. Feira de Ladra is cool and has a lot of it's flea market special this morning. Thank you for this, T-Duck. And has a lot of flea market items, but also has a lot of cheap clothing, professional vendors, and masses of tourists. Yeah, okay. And I think you could, if you choose to go to Lisbon, if you're having a weekend city break in Lisbon, a great time to go when you can wander through the flea markets of Lisboa. Good morning, Jackie. We had a lovely weekend. Bonfire and spit roast pig on Saturday, and chestnut and jerapiga festa yesterday. Sounds fantastic. There you go. That's proper Portuguese living, isn't it? As well as collecting a few olives. How was yours? Right. And Matty coming to your aid as well. This is great. Well done, everybody. Thank you for this. If they put up a poster, then it will be, can he eat more chestnuts this year? So Matty a bit partial. Do you find they give you wind, Matty? And I guess I have to miss stuff when being on an alcohol break. Is that you, Matt? Pete, are you having a dry November? It depends if you plan to stay in that van for a longer period or coming and going to Portugal. There you go. Pretty much concurs with what I was saying. Secondhand stuff is rather expensive here in general. Yes, people do value their old tats, don't they? Anything with wheels is ridiculously expensive here. Is that wheelbarrows as well? What else has got wheels? Sack truck. But you'll find it hard to sell anything with right-hand drive. So I think the generally speaking here, the suggestion is probably that you don't bring a British one. But if you do buy a Portuguese one, it will be expensive. Let me just make sure we've got the... cheers, Andy, for your cycle tours as well. We probably need to stick these up in the Portugal Club for anybody else wanting to go and do similar cycle trails that you've done there. Andera, thank you very much for that. Bob, just sending you the link for today's show now, just in case. By the way, all you co-hosts and guests, the link is the same now. That's the way they've done it for stream, so we don't have to keep giving you a new link. Because he wrote some poetry, Adrian thinks it's Denis selection A of the Portuguese citizenship test question number 50 this morning. Thank you, and good morning to you, Adrian. And Jackie, another thing is if you change a regular van into a camper, you might not be able to import it to Portugal. It happened to Gary, so there you go. And that sounds amazing. Spent a weekend researching planning law and a few technicalities to go with business in Portugal. You know Raquel's the woman to speak to on that. Hola, bon dia from Chris as well. How you doing? Thank you. That was great, the chat with you. Sorry we couldn't see the pictures, Chris, but we could certainly hear you. And we had Ian Reed's fantastic comment of, was it impressively drab, I think, of your London skyline. I hope you had a great weekend over there in UK. Carl came third in the Hitchhiker's Guide poetry competitions behind Paula, Nancy, Milston, Jennings, and the Vogons. What are you talking about, Peter? We are looking for a left-hand drive and need it to work from, but won't be doing it as a camper, more a mobile gallery art studio. What a lovely idea. Again, however, the Portuguese, what are they called? The IMT, the Transport Authority, are not too keen. I think it's true to say on self-modification of vans. They're quite particular about what will and won't pass through a test if you do something like that. The first test of regularizing it here and then the subsequent annual tests after that. I need some heat in this room. It's only 13 degrees. It's getting chilly now, isn't it, Matty? I don't need to wear gloves working on a computer. What about some of those brilliant fingerless gloves? I think, is that just a British thing, a British market trader thing? Matriculating, that's the word I've been reaching for this morning. Matriculating a camper will be ridiculously expensive, Jackie, and if it has been modified, impossible. Magusto, the name of the festival. There you go. The chestnuts and jerapiga are free. It's like Portuguese Club Tropicana. Club Tropicana, chestnuts and jerapiga are free. Fun and, well, not so much sunshine this time of year for everyone. Solo Life, we're not doing it up for a camp. We're going to be using it to carry art stuff. Okay, so maybe your art stuff needs to be a gazebo that you erect next to the vehicle. Sorry it's so complicated, Jackie, but that is the collective intelligence, the hive mind for you this morning, talking about flea markets and converting camper vans here in Portugal. Weird. YouTube seems to be blocking my comments. Not sure why. Not said anything offensive or anything. Why not? Try harder, Andeiro. Feira de Ladra is on Tuesdays and Saturdays, a twice weekly market. Who doesn't like it twice weekly? And first thing in the morning, more tourists and bigger crowds on Saturday, as you might expect. Hugh's here. Good morning to you, Hugh. And Mel, bon dia to you, Mel. Matty, just starting a fire, computer parts burn well. Yes, that's the way to do, isn't it? Retirement. Chuck it all on a fire, live in the moment, and eat chestnuts and drink jerapiga. Oh, crinkled findle wordles. I think we've gone off into a Gumper tangent here. Is this something to do with Douglas Adams? It was a beautiful sunshine yesterday. Well, that's lovely to hear. I'm thinking of wood fires, wood smoke in the air, the chestnut fires, the Jerapiga. What a beautiful time of year here in Portugal. And as it was in Lisboa yesterday, I sat outside in the sun in short sleeves. How lovely. And a final comment before we bring Bob and Viv on. They are very harsh on vans, says Mel. See, people have tried it here for any use. Even with normal cars, you can't fit window tint without getting a new IMT inspection. My goodness. However, a lot of people do drive little vans, two-seaters, because I think it's not really a van, is it? It's like a hatchback. And you just have the two front seats because that's a cheaper way of insuring and running a vehicle, apparently. Sorry, I did say only one more comment. You keep sending me more. Richard Hoggart was a key witness for the defence in 1960 obscenity trial for D.H. Lawrence's Lady Chatterley's Lover. Talking of which, as we were earlier, and the joy of sex, I bet that got banned as well, actually. We're thinking it would have been Britain, wouldn't it? We don't do that sort of thing. Oh, my God. We're thinking small bus, and we will build a canopy. Canopy's a good idea. Got working under. I'm not sleeping in a bus after nearly, how many years of that? On a boat. I want some solid ground now. I'm old. Jackie. Right, well, we're looking forward to seeing you here. Let's give them a nice big round of applause. We've got a few other curiosities to share with you, but time has whizzed by. Thank you to the lovely conversation about flea markets and vans this morning. Let's give them a nice big round of applause and bring them onto the screen. Bob and Viv, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. Is the audio coming through okay?
You are sounding great. How are you?
Fantastic.
Great.
We are well. Very well.
So glad to hear it. Was it a little bit of an effort to get out of bed this morning, or are you early risers, if you don't mind me asking?
No, it was terribly hard for me. I don't like to get up anyway.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did find it a bit of a struggle this morning, and I've got into what I suppose might be called the bad habit of loving the snooze button.
Yes,
I wake up early so that I can revel in the warmth of the bed, but that can go on far too long, can't it, sometimes?
Yes.
Look, doing the snooze button like that, even setting it knowing, okay, I'll set it a half hour early so I can hit the snooze.
Yeah.
It's kind of like,
I'll hit it one more time.
well, I'm thinking of, I'll have a list of things I'm doing, and then I'll think of something else I want to do or just did that wasn't on the list. So I'll put it on the list so I can check it off.
Yes.
The snooze is kind of like that. It's just that I have an option,
It is. It's like firing a bullet and drawing the target round it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bullseye.
Yeah, I like that. I wish I'd known that when I was a kid. That would have been good.
Well, yes, and I'm thinking, because we hear, don't we, the most productive, and we know this, don't we, because some of us occasionally do it. If you get up really early, you can have the most glorious start to the day, feel ahead of things. Yeah. So I was thinking, as part of this whole sort of conversation of snoozing and the Britney Spears approach to hitting the snooze button one more time, baby, is to set it for maybe 5 a.m. and do all that rigmarole and then get up at 6. But I'm thinking maybe that'll still be the same. I'll have like 2 hours of snooze button smashing. And it still won't happen. You've got to get out of bed early. You've got to get up and do it, haven't you? You can't just hang about. Don't you?
You've got to get up and do it.
And
Mel Robbins, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get it done.
Yeah.
And between 4 and 7 is 4 and 9. That's when I do my best sleeping.
Yeah.
Between 4 and 9. That's
when I
sleep time.
do my best thinking. So
so he gets up and I stay in bed.
I don't get up before. No. I did that for years. I don't do that.
Well, yeah, there is that, isn't there? Some people feel entitled now to a bit of a lie-in and to not have to go against.
Yes. Total change from my entire life.
Okay, fair enough. So the cycle might turn again. It does remind me when I get up very early and my eyes still hurt of being a postman. And there's that slightly wretched feeling of having gone to bed too late but still having to get up at 4:30 or something ridiculous. It kind of hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah, it does. It does.
There's morning greetings for you from T-Duck and from Mike so far. Good morning, Bob and Viv.
Yeah,
good
morning.
And V. We've been talking a lot this morning about flea markets and the price of secondhand things, and also traveling in a van or buying a van here in Portugal. Have you ever considered the van life here in Portugal?
No, not
Not
really.
Sod
No.
that.
No.
I can identify with Jackie's. I like a bed. It's a nice solid feeling, though I've not spent overnights on a boat like she has. I mean, river tide or not, it's still moving. So
Yeah.
maybe like sleeping on a train. I don't know.
We might have put her off. Anyway, Pedder's saying buy a left-hand drive fan in the UK, import it without converting. It's one on Portuguese plates, then convert it. It's all forbidden. Is one not allowed to have onboard cooking facilities? I think it's just the government wants to know what you're up to and that it's safe. Basically, that's the idea. That doesn't mean it doesn't stop people from doing a pull-out conversion. And I think they get the shell of their van tested, and having taken all the stuff out and then put it all back in again when they're back on the road. Not that I am saying you should do that. Jackie, make sure you do not remove any seats and check all the regulations. They are not fun, basically, is Mel's grounded and sensible advice on this matter. We never know what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah.
Plenty of examples of this having been done successfully without a huge cost on YouTube. So YouTube inspiration, possibly. We're doing work once we're in Portugal, and we've already decided we're not fitting a cooker or a shower, just a toilet. Thanks, Pedder. The info is great. Importing from Germany, as some people do as well. Lots of great advice. Thank you, everybody. I don't know what's happening here. Oh, Freddled Grunt Bugly. Do you know what this is? Thy micturations are to me as plurdled gabble blotchets on a legend bee. I think this is Douglas Adams, is it not? Love fan life, does Mel. Much warmer than houses here. Oh, that's a point.
I can't argue with her about that. My bed was very warm and my house was very cold.
Yes. However,
I am going to get up from my chair long enough to close the door for the space heater that is warming us. So keep talking.
Well, it's fine. That's fine now until it's summertime and it becomes unbearably hot inside the van, because it's basically a tin can, isn't it? You also say, interestingly, Mel, the police do random checks on vans. I had to open up my van at a roadside stop. I think there's a finances wing of the GNR, isn't there, that wants to see if you've got receipts for everything and you're not some sort of dodgy trader as well, to make sure that it's legal business. There are white van stops, that's for sure. And on roundabouts, usually. It is legal. You can use Portuguese help to legalise the conversion. No question about that. You can legalise it, but I think what we're saying, Pedro, is it's actually quite an arduous process. To be honest, whatever we do, it must be legal. We are not looking for problems. That's the spirit. And if getting into a check controlled by GNR or PSP, you might lose your vehicle, at least get a hefty fine. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
I'm so unhip, apparently. My bum might fall off because I don't know.
You're so
apparently so this morning. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, explain the mystery. I think you and Pete are talking a language I think might be Douglas Adams here. I don't know. I don't know for sure. The big question for us, however, to start with, chatting with you both this morning, is how is that lovely dog that we spoke about last time? And I'm sure I had a photo of him on my photo deck here. But how's he doing? Here he is. Here he is. I knew it. Look at him.
He's
so,
doing great.
Is he?
He's with his proper home.
Yes.
With Big Brother and Big Brother older hound.
Yeah.
And John, and he's doing very well. Having a great time. Still got a little medical work to do, but we're working on that.
That must have been quite the wrench then. My money was on you keeping him. You wouldn't be able to let him go.
Not only was it hard on us,
Yeah,
it was hard on Gus.
I couldn't believe the change in Gus.
Yeah.
It's not that he fought him or anything. It's just he got sadder and sadder. Yeah. And you look at his little eyes and he had that wrinkled look on his face like, really? What did I do?
Well done.
What did I do? Why do we have to have another dog?
Oh, really?
He was like a minion.
Oh, bless.
Well, Gus is, for those that don't know, it's our Pedingo adoptee of a little over 2 years. He is an extremely intelligent, very communicative dog. He is a sight hound, a pointer. He is a scent hound, and we learned with having this big coonhound resident for a while as we fostered him. Gus has those big double dew claws, like a herding dog, like one of the big breeds here.
Oh yeah.
He started herding the hound dog. So Gus is an amazing animal, extremely intelligent. Care sitters say he's not a dog.
Yeah.
He's more than a dog. Yeah. So we have had overnight dog guests here a time or two before for friends that are traveling. But this one hung on, number one. Number two, Gus is an independent thing.
Yeah.
He is the epitome of independent thought.
Okay.
The dog I've ever seen.
And this dog was needy. So this dog was like that picture, with him standing on the chair. Is this okay? Yeah. He eventually climbed onto the chair when I wasn't on it, and
took over Bob's chair, and he just kept in sit down.
Yeah, it became his chair at the kitchen table.
Yeah.
And poor Gus, it was just
It really bothered him.
we really enjoyed the dog, but it was hard on all of us.
Very interesting process then, and some dogs just really don't see themselves as dogs. They are they join the human pack, I suppose, rather than being,
and Gus is firmly entrenched in the human pack.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
And this interloper, particularly with the dog was on the streets for months, but once he was with people, he was probably the neediest dog I've ever been around. And when you have
except Gracie, my golden retriever,
okay, but a 25 kilo plus long-legged needy dog.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
You've got a life, haven't you, basically, as well, outside of that.
And going back to your Joy of Portugal,
did you like
cover, I like that. Yeah, Viv didn't get a chance to see it. I saw it. She was making our coffee.
Yeah. But she's like in the kitchen. What? He's talking about sex again?
What am I missing? What?
The other day, we were, I think, going for groceries, and instead ended up at having the cafe, sitting down, having one of their delightful hot chocolates, enjoying the view of downtown Ponte de Lima. That's the picture of the fountain I sent you the other day.
Yes. Let me see if I can bring that onto the screen. Is this the one you mean?
That's the one. Yeah. I wish the color were better. The colors were, and those clouds were amazing. The sky was fantastic.
Beautiful.
And we just, it's like, well, we don't have to have groceries today. I even offered to take her out for supper if she wanted.
He's so romantic.
And no, she had a plan, and but just reminding ourselves of the joy of Portugal, of pause.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah, pause. Take a moment. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the slower pace than we were used to. And we lived in a mountain valley, but still there was a lot of,
you were working. You were always running.
Yeah, I was running like crazy. Yeah. So, but anyway, so we've been reminding ourselves lately of the joy.
It's lovely. How many years have you been here now?
Almost
4. December 9th will be 4 years.
Isn't that lovely? Because it's the same for me. I've been here 8 years, and I still get that. And it would be so sad if that were not the case. I mean, I'd get over it, but isn't it nice to know that you can be? It's like, it reminds me of Wordsworth. The chancing upon a host of daffodils.
Yes.
It sounds like it came upon him. It's like, oh my God, look at these daffodils. And it's that sort of thing, isn't it? When you're having a moment in Portugal. Portuguese moment, we used to call it that, didn't we? Where it's like, oh wow, yes, this is it. This is why. Well, maybe it's not why you came here. It might have been. You might have been, conscious of it, but it certainly hits you, doesn't it, as something in the early days, and lovely that phenomenon might persist like that as the joy of Portugal. So, just talking a bit more about that, Bob. That's what the being arrested by peace is, it, and tranquility. Is that the
The enjoying the moments and not getting so wrapped up in, oh, this is happening here, this is happening there. All these things that we have no control over. All we have control over is right here, right now, where we are and how we think about it.
Oh, yes.
And coming out of a very deeply entrenched church for a long period in our lives, you're always thinking about the past. What have I done? And the future, what's the result?
What am I going to have?
What should I be feeling bad about right now?
Exactly. And
I'm sure.
and all this push pull to being enjoying the moment.
Mhm.
Not now. My challenge, that might say, is throwing away the moment and just not getting anything done. I am.
Well, there are those days. There are those days.
I am a not fiddler, an adapt
Fiddler.
yeah.
We fiddle a lot.
This is quite the confession this morning. I want okay.
He's a champion fiddler. Yes.
and then I'll have moments of days of focus and getting things done, and the next thing you know, I'm piddling away my time again. So I've been doing better at not turning on the YouTube when I first get up in the morning. If I do anything, I'll do a directed meditation of some sort.
Cool.
And I'm doing it's even showing on my screen time. I'm making progress, but being one who dealt with distractions, with a mind that jumped, squirrel all the time, to being able to breathe and be where we are, enjoy Portugal, enjoy being retired. One of my challenges is not using it for an excuse to not do anything, I guess.
But that's okay sometimes.
And
It's okay.
Yes, and it's very difficult. It's all relative, isn't it? Because somebody who's been busy all their life and driven by some sort of ideology of some sort
Right.
would find it very difficult to sit and do nothing for a few minutes, let alone a few hours. And I think you are dealing with conditioning, aren't you? You're coming face to face with some serious conditioning. I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing. And I was just you talking about it, I was getting this great sense of peace and stillness from what you're talking about. And I think we need to get used to that, because I've been listening more about future trends, and that's what the focus is going to be for Good Morning Portugal from 2026. Is like the next 5 years, because I think our lives are going to be changed drastically, and all the influences around us are going to be giving us an opportunity to see life in a completely new way, and it's going to be a bit bumpy, I think, at times. This will be a key skill, knowing how to regulate yourself and not and being discerning, really, because there will be human attention. That is one commodity that is not going to change, is it? That's a sort of finite amount of attention. There'll be more forces begging for your attention, and to be discerning and still, and not prey to some of those forces that will use your attention in a not so positive way, will be a really, really important skill that we need to develop, I think, in the next
hasn't somebody coined the term of attention harvesting?
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be the main. Well, it's the basis of the matrix, really, isn't it? I mean, but that is going to be the key. I don't think it will be necessarily a conversation like we're having now in the mainstream, but I think that's basically what it's going to come down to, because all the all the things we used to worry about getting stuff done, there are machines now that will be able to get that stuff done much better than we can, and so that's going to rob us. We're going to create the means of our own enlightenment or enslavement or whatever it is, like we always do as human beings. But it's going to be so fascinating, and I think that regulation that you're bringing to your life is going to be an opportunity and a key skill for everybody to develop. I would have thought.
And being, you know, pivoting. I've talked about it with you before. Is you pivot different ways with your program and everything. I think you're an expert at looking at options and considering them and implementing them, and pivoting in being flexible in your day for us. You know, I got a plan today. This is what I'm going to do, and then we get a phone call. Hey, you want to go to lunch? And yeah, we do.
Against the law. It's against the law not to go to lunch if you're invited to lunch in Portugal. You know that.
I think so.
You've got the law on your side.
And so it's just coming from the United States, and there's so much to be said for the personal independence and drive and getting things done. But there is this flip side that Portugal shows you that we appreciate.
Yeah.
A great deal. Yeah.
Yes, and sadly, whenever we're talking about the most fabulous of things, we seem to be glitching a little bit. So I am going to enact a physical refresh of the screen. So hold on to your seats, you two.
Okay.
I'm going to refresh the service. You and I are both having a conversation without any glitches, as far as I'm aware. I think it's just a transmission problem. Okay, so hold tight, everybody. We're about to refresh. Here we go, and that may have done it, but you know what? We'll find out from everybody.
How is our audio now?
You've been fine. We've been having a wonderful conversation, but our viewers, our friends here, the Gumpers, have been struggling to hear some of the conversation, sadly. So I hope that hasn't affected the recording, which could be watched again maybe later if there are things that you wanted to hear but weren't able to. From Coach Turner, Bondi Gumpers, and Felicia. Good morning to Bob and Viv. Looking good as always, you guys. Yes, 50% hiccups from Bob and Viv. They're not hiccuping. Same thing, sadly. Well, it's what's happening once it's going down the internet tubes, because we're having a perfectly okay conversation quality wise here, sadly. So I can only apologise on behalf of the powers that be who run the internet at the moment. And absolutely, Mel, Jackie, fine to connect you if that's what you want me to do. But loving this, thank you very much for surrendering your, well, it's probably a good choice of words, surrendering your Portuguese moment there. And you did go to the lunch invitation, did you?
Oh, sure. And then we went to a birthday party.
Yeah.
It was a great day.
Very good.
And Portugal for us moving here was about adventure, and we didn't know that breathing was going to be part of the adventure, and we welcomed that. But like at the birthday party we attended yesterday, the birthday person was from Chile. She's married to a Swede. We were there with a Russian Canadian couple. We were there with Colombians.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
It was
a Frenchman.
It was such a mix of people, and that was our desire to just broaden our perspectives, and we just appreciate that so much. It's
good note to people that if you stop for a moment and have one of the pauses that Bob loves so much that we've been hearing about this morning, is to remember why you came here. Because I think with the best will in the world, your conditioning, what's going on in the world, can possibly undermine or have you forget that. And I we don't live the life we imagined we would when we were thinking of coming to Portugal. So it is really important to think about the quality of life that you're looking for, even if the makeup of it, even if the external appearance of it isn't as you imagined. What was the quality of life you're looking for, and is that happening? I think that's a really good reminder, actually. a few more of your lovely images as well. So the fountain, that's Ponte Lima. Of course, we can see the bridge there, can't we? So that's a lovely coffee spot. Is that a regular spot for you to sit?
Yeah, this cafe has the best hot chocolate in the world.
Is it really? Okay. Which one?
Even without chantilly on top, it's excellent. Yeah.
Is that the one that was the old prison, the old women's prison?
No, it's down the street on the plaza. Yeah.
All right.
Habanesa. It's great. The service is great. Typical of a Portuguese cafe that you can sit there and enjoy, and you aren't pressured
for 30 minutes or 4 hours. They don't care.
Yeah. And I just watch if the chairs are getting crowded, we go ahead and take off. Otherwise, we may order something else. You know?
That's the Portuguese way, I think, isn't it? Is to be mindful. You got to stay there for as long as you want, but if someone else wants to come in and it's full up, that's when you make your move, isn't it? Sure. Very good. Very good. Autumnal scenes. All of these. There's an autumnal flavour to your pictures. That's further down the walk down the river, isn't it?
Yes. That's over at a cafe across, looking back toward Ponte Lima.
Another cafe.
Oh, well, gee, how about that? And actually, we've gotten out of the habit. Oh, that next one.
Okay, is this another cafe?
That yesterday morning on my walk with Gus, just the autumn colors and the grapevines this year, and we've done a little bit of traveling across the upper Douro. The colors in the grapevines this year, perhaps maybe with the dry summer, but really damp fall, and just more color here, fall everywhere. Color we've seen than anywhere. And this is an old manor house that's still in operation with a vineyard and
beautiful,
very good condition. And that's the hillside that's behind us.
How lovely, how lovely.
Yeah.
And later that same day, possibly, you're inside now, candle burning, that's reflecting against the window there. Is this home?
This is at the birthday party.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We don't have that view.
We do not. we would like that view.
Yeah, just to recap on that, you're talking about a couple, not a recipe. It's like take a Swede and add some chili. That's a couple of people. I want your view on this as well. A few things I've been finding here. This came up on X, formerly Twitter. This correspondent here, Bruno, was I think had enjoyed cozida portuguesa. I don't know if you like this particular recipe or traditional Portuguese dish, and noticed that there was a sandwich version of this monster main course and a soup version, and thought there should also be a starter version of it. It's hard to imagine it so small, actually. As well as a cozida, a bebida de cozida, the drink version of it, and can you imagine a dessert?
Can't imagine. No.
Well, your arroz doce, maybe.
That's fascinating. Does cozida stand for mixture?
No, that's mixture.
It's your Portuguese stew, basically, isn't it? I mean, I don't use the word in a judgmental, pejorative way, but questionable meats. You're never entirely sure what's in there. Yeah. Many and varied meats. Right. Another meme that came across my desk as well. How well does your country match its time zone? So when you were saying you got invited out to lunch and then a birthday party, I'm thinking that day was lost, basically, in a good way.
Well, in a good way, yeah.
Apparently,
anything else done.
This is what we think about our time zone pretty badly. So there's
Spain.
Spain is the worst, though, isn't it? I mean, presumably you can't get anything done in Spain, and people complain about bureaucracy and people maybe not being on time in Portugal. It could be worse. It could be worse.
It could be Spain.
It could, couldn't it? But who's doing it perfectly? There are certain, I suppose, where Eastern and Western Europe are meeting there.
That's interesting. Yeah. That is interesting.
And this, we haven't seen this for a long time. Did you ever see this picture?
No, I didn't
think so.
That's interesting. I'm surprised you haven't seen this one. It's among my favourite real estate pictures ever.
Oh.
Is there anything odd you noticed about it?
Anything odd?
Nice little. It's probably a studio apartment. Val is a place on the Silver Coast, not far from Colin.
Somebody's having a nice nap on
Oh,
the deck.
somebody's on the deck.
And not only were they having a nice nap, let's hope so,
Yeah.
and that it's not a corpse.
No,
They didn't think to ask that person to move while they were doing the real estate.
I
photos.
know.
Yes,
that's
actually,
hilarious.
now that you mentioned it, I did
Yeah.
see it on one of your programs.
I love this.
Yeah.
I love this. And it
We were
reminded me of-
talking about terrible realtor pictures of somebody. the other
Yeah,
day.
well, there you go. This is the patron saint
Yes.
of the.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So, any other observations? Thank you so much for sharing a Portuguese moment with us. What are you thinking about life in Portugal, the politics, the citizenship, and all that sort of stuff? It's all we have to keep it in perspective, don't we?
We
That's been
do.
really, very dominating.
There's nothing we can do about it. So,
Yeah.
you know, not going to worry about it.
And we weren't, it never entered our minds until we got here and heard about it, of using Portugal as a stopping off place for an EU passport.
Yeah, right.
We
It
need to stay.
just never, that was never in our game plan. We kicked around what about citizenship, but it wasn't, we're here for the long haul.
Yeah.
And we have no issue. We actually had lunch yesterday with a Dutch citizen who
She's been here all her life.
yeah,
All of her life.
her mother was Dutch.
Her father was Portuguese.
She was born. She's older than us. She
But
was
she
born
wasn't-
during the dictatorship. So
Yeah, but she was born in Holland, not
Holland.
here.
Yeah.
So she's not a citizen.
Yeah, but Viv has a great story of her deciding to get her citizenship in Portugal. She's
Yeah.
lived here all her life.
Yeah. And she's about my age, I guess. And he went to get her to apply. And they said, okay, this is what you'll have to do. And they gave her things. And you have to take a language test. And she said, a language test? And he said, yes. She said, are we not conversing fluently in Portuguese? Why
Yeah.
do I need a test?
It's a fair point, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he said, well, it's the rules. You have to take it. And she goes, no, I'm not doing that. I just won't be a citizen.
She's in her 70s, and
She's
And
still a permanent resident.
permanent resident. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what? She sounds really Portuguese to me. That's the sort of thing a Portuguese person
Oh,
would say,
she's
right?
great. She is one of my favorite people.
She says, I am not Portuguese. Again, she grew up here, dad was Portuguese. I am not Portuguese, but I understand them very well.
Yes. Yeah. Fair enough. That sounds like a really sort of grown up, not a standoff exactly, but like, okay, yeah, you want me to do the test thing. I don't want to do the test. I'm happy where I am. I'll just, yeah.
Like, I don't need the citizenship.
Yeah. So that's kind of where we're at in this whole game, and not we like I said at the beginning, we lived with push pull all our lives,
Yes.
and it's not worth investing emotion in the push pull
I
for
like
us.
it.
For us.
Yeah.
By the time we get it, we will be so advanced in our years that where are we going to want to move?
Yeah.
It's like,
That's right. So,
I
he's
don't
like,
want to move.
"Oh, yay, we've got the EU passport. Let's go. Actually,
Yeah,
no.
we're 92.
I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered. Very good.
No,
Yeah.
We're looking for a long-term rental where we don't have to worry about that renewal date. And so we both kind of feel like maybe we got one more move in us type of thing.
Yeah.
That's
and I hope that's
yeah,
it.
and
Yeah.
just
I hope that's it.
settle in and breathe. Settle in and breathe. So
Well, nothing wrong with that. I like it, and I think I've been attempting myself to address this because it might be the time of year. It is a reaction to the politics that's going
Sure
on,
it
Yeah.
and I think you have to be very mindful and take a breath. And I love the cut of your jib and how you're looking at this. You know, to me, I'm saying adios. You know, all these people. I'm leaving. Okay, goodbye.
Bye.
Okay, why are you making another video on the way to the airport? Just go.
Just go.
But you know, when you get there, send a postcard. Let us know how you're doing.
Yeah, let us know if it's
There you
better.
go. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I think time of year, you know, it's a sort of more of a reflective time. Full moons. People have let this get the better of them, I think, as well.
I think they have.
So, yeah, and we remind ourselves, even with considering any sort of move at all, wherever we go, there we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
it's a matter of
Geography doesn't
yeah.
work very well. It's a problem.
There is such a thing as and what we found here, an energetic connection.
Yes.
Here in
Yeah.
Portugal, we have definitely found that. There is that, without a doubt.
I'm loving the conversation. It's a kind of back to first principles, isn't it? What do we come here for? What are we thinking? And are we going to let ourselves get distracted by the sort of political noise and then get drawn into it and the politics? Because I found this. I love you know, one of the things I love about Facebook is it will remind me of what an idiot I was years ago, as well as like brilliant pictures that I posted up, you know, that were just cries for help, really. And this, I think, is from about just before I was thinking of coming to Portugal, and this is the way I was feeling in my work and my life at the time in the UK.
Oh, yeah.
And if this was your motivation for moving to Portugal, and you've kind of done it to a certain extent, you know, why would you then let all the political heat cook you and bother you? Because I think that it still offers that. And I thought, okay, I'm going to get a whole hog and write about it in the newspaper column this week.
Okay,
And
great.
what it came down to was like, the country owes us nothing, but it can give us so much.
Absolutely.
And that's still the case. To me,
is.
that's still the case. And that orientation is more forgiving, isn't it? Because if you get demanding and entitled, you are going to upset yourself. Whereas if you, as you've clearly done, and we didn't rehearse this at all, did we, or work on this, but you've seen what can be given by relaxing into life here, and that very organic gift. That, thank goodness, you know, praise the Lord. It is still the case that magic can happen, and that's not something you can push or demand, is it?
No.
We feel like guests in a very generous host home.
Yeah.
So I don't have the right to complain about the way they're doing things. It's their country, and they let us come here, and I'm very grateful for that.
Grateful.
Yeah, same here, igualmente. And we are just coming up to 9 o'clock on this Monday morning. So thank you so much for being here. Bon dia, boa semana. Keep on being fabulous and coming out with these amazing statements. Bob, I don't know which one it was.
Exactly.
You've issued one or two this morning. I tell you what, there's time to write a book for Christmas. The amazing statements of Bob and Viv. I would
If only we could remember them.
Yeah.
And then you'll go to transcribe the show this morning. It's like, oh no, it's all glitchy. You can't hear anything you said.
I don't know.
When I was still looking for a property, I made it a happy to find the exact location on Google Maps, especially if the agent did not want to reveal it. Oh, okay.
We've done that. Oh, yeah. We've done
Here, yeah, and a little bit of talk about the very. I thought it was a ubiquitous and famous balcony picture there. Nice to be reacquainted with that this morning as we make our way into week. So yeah, thank you so much, you guys. That's a nice, warm, autumnal, fuzzy feeling I think we've generated this morning. So I thank you for that.
Fantastic. That's wonderful.
And a big round of applause to see you on your way. And I can't. We have a karaoke on the first Saturday and wine tasting, and the Christmas party. Love to see you there if it works for you. That's another thing.
When's the Christmas party?
The Christmas party is the 13th of December in San Martino. If you found
13th of December.
Yeah, but
The calendar.
I don't know if you've noticed, but making arrangements with people at the moment is impossible. It's like,
It
yeah,
is.
I'll come. Actually, no, I'm not coming to that. I can't be bothered. People are being really honest about like making arrangements now, aren't they? And I'm all for it. But if you want to come, it's the 13th of December
Okay.
for our Christmas gathering. Bit of a disco and a bit of a karaoke. All right, everybody, big round of applause for you. Thank you, especially Bob and Viv. Bon
In Portugal, there's a huge